It's come to my attention that people don't like unusuals. And honestly, I don't really mind that. It makes sense. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to talk about, as I am somebody who does like unusuals, but I can actually understand this argument from both perspectives. So today I just want to talk about why people might not like unusuals. I would also love to hear what side of the argument you guys are on. Do you like unusuals? Do you not like unusuals? Let me know in the comments down below with a reason as to why you like or you don't like unusuals. I think that'd be quite interesting. This video is also sponsored by quicksell.store. They are an online trading website with a huge inventory of stuff that you can trade for, which is really nice. And sometimes you can even buy stuff in that site for around buy orders, which is quite rare and you don't normally get to do that. There is also a giveaways tab where every single week they give away an unusual, so definitely make sure you check that out. And the site is fully automatic, so you don't have to be trading with actual people, and you can trade at pretty much any time of the day that you would like to. The link will be in the description. Definitely go and check them out. They are a really awesome site. I've used them before in the past. Definitely recommended. Okay, so the first reason I think people don't really like unusuals is because some people just don't think they look great, which is fairly simple, and I think it's actually, quite a fair point. I think sometimes people can be put off by some of the more garish, unusual effects and colours of the loadouts people will have. Like, if there's a whole bunch of pink, a lot of the time that gets a little bit overwhelming, and you're not really sure what to look at when you're looking at a class wearing all of that stuff. And sometimes having a whole bunch of effects on weird colors cosmetics without any real thought being put into it just doesn't look amazing. Sometimes it works great when, the effects are actually thought out, the hats are actually thought out, and the hats work together and the effects work together. But if you're just having double unusual effects to just have double unusual effects, a lot of the time it doesn't work. And honestly, sometimes even I have to admit that I have seen a lot of sets that people have been making with multiple unusuals that just don't look amazing, regardless of how much they cost. Speaking of cost, that is another reason people don't really like unusuals. They can cost quite a lot, especially for higher tier hats and effects, which are normally the better looking hats and effects that people will actually be wanting to look at and wear, and they can get very, very expensive. And obviously that puts people off them quite a lot because they either don't want to spend that money, they don't have that money, or they're using that money on things that are actually useful to them and not pixels in a video game. That probably isn't going to be the highest thing on their priority list. I also really quickly want to address something. A lot of people think that I have bought every single item in my backpack and that I've spent a whole bunch of real world money on that stuff. Which isn't true. I've traded, I've been given donations, all of that stuff. Like, compared to what I've cashed out of TF2 and what I currently have in TF2, I have barely spent anything. I can actually be quite smart with my money, and I don't always like spending a lot of money on TF2 unusuals. And I think a lot of other people are just like that. They don't want to spend multiple hundreds of dollars to get some shiny hat in a video game, which I personally think is fair enough. I probably wouldn't want to drop hundreds anymore on a hat. Not that I ever did do that, because in the past I had no money to do that, but you get what I mean. I have other things that I'd prefer to do with my money, and I feel like everybody else who is making money also feels like that. Another point that people make quite a lot is that unusuals sometimes affect gameplay. And I'm not saying that in a way that means owning an unusual will make you better at the game or anything like that, because I am a perfect example of how unusuals don't translate into skill. I have played over 4,200 hours of this game, and I still suck. But the way that actually affects your gameplay is that people act different to players who are wearing unusuals. Sometimes they get more heals, and a lot of the time, the enemy team will actually try a lot harder while fighting you, or they will gang up on you in game, which can be really, really annoying sometimes, especially if you know that the reason they're doing that is because you're wearing a shiny hat. Also, this is especially important when you're wearing a sniper unusual. You're putting a huge glowing target on your head, basically, and it makes it so much easier to find you, see where you are, and where your head is, so other snipers will have an easier time hitting you, and you stand out like a sore thumb, so everybody in the game knows where you are. I know for a fact some people who have unusuals on sniper don't ever wear them because they just want to play sniper normally and not be noticed as soon as they step out anywhere, which is, I think it's fair enough, and I'm the opposite. I really just don't mind that much. It probably doesn't help my gameplay that I'm wearing a gigantic Scorching Flames hat, but I paid for the hat, I like the hat, I think it's amazing, so I'm going to wear it. But a lot of other people might not be like that. Especially if it's one of those hats that you've traded for and are just trying to trade away. Like, you wouldn't wear that unless you're in a trade server, I feel like. So it makes sense that people wouldn't have stuff equipped all the time. Anyway, that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm really pushing towards that whole 100,000 subscriber goal, so you guys subbing means a whole lot to me, and the support recently as well has just been insane. I'm also going to be streaming as well when this video goes live, probably doing another unusual giveaway since, you know, this video is all about unusuals and it has been sponsored, so it makes it a bit easier to do that. So yeah, definitely make sure you go and check out quicksell.store. Massive shout out for them for sponsoring this video. It helps me out a lot. And with that, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. Thank you all so much for watching the video once again. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.